Nightmare. Oh my gosh, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. I just had to go make some rope because I honestly have no idea how we're supposed to climb up this thing. But let's give it our best shot, right? And I know you're not gonna climb with me, but still, I just would appreciate your company. Where do I even start? Which one do I even climb? I'm honestly not sure which rock I'm supposed to climb, but probably somewhere within this grove. Nightmare, I'm gonna keep you here, okay? You can be safe here under these glowing trees. Now, I'm gonna go see what Kernunos has to say to me, and I'll be right back, okay? Don't wander too far, please. Okay, let's see. Kernunos, if you could just make this a little bit easier for me. I really don't know where to go. Look at the moon. Is that one glowing? Now, if this isn't a sign, I don't know what is. It's interesting. It's the one that's pointing directly at the moon. I guess I should climb up that one. Ah, look. It's covered in fireflies. And it seems to be the only one that actually is, too. Okay, this is definitely the one I'm gonna try to climb. Alright, I guess we should start here where the tree is. Hopefully this rope is strong enough to keep me steady. This is gonna be pretty scary. Okay, here we go. Guess we're gonna go through the tree. I'm so curious, what in the world does he have to tell me? And what could be his final mission for me? Oh my gosh. These leaves are beautiful. They're almost like warm. It's weird. Now things are getting scary. Just gonna hug the rocks. Please don't fall. It's so far up there. I hope I'm doing the right thing here. It's windy. Oh my gosh. Okay, almost there. Come on. I can do it. It's cold. Let's jump to this part. Okay. Oh my gosh. Look how high up we are. Almost there. Just hold on. Does he know that I'm scared of heights or something? I'm here. Wow. Look at this. We're above the clouds, and from here it's like you can really see nothing but the sky. It's just the stars, and they're so bright here. It's almost like they're right next to me.
Ah, you're finally here.
For a second there, I thought you wouldn't show up.
I'm always here, child.
So what's the final job you were talking about?
Do you know of the creatures who have been living on this land for eons? For longer than before you humans have even existed as a species.
No?
The trees, child. The trees have been here before you. They have grown over this forest before anyone or anything else. The trees are some of the most powerful beings in this realm. Here, take this.
What is this?
It's an oak tree seed, a special one, infused with a spell casted by Bridget. She gave it to me as a gift. Now I want you to have it.
Oh, Kernunos, that's so kind of you, but...
Your job is to plant it in the forest. Once grown, it will protect it from all evil and harm, till the end of time itself.
Whoa, seriously? Of course I'll plant it, but I thought the protection spell was already supposed to protect the forest.
Yes, but your mortal spells do not last forever. Eventually, it will wear off. The monsters will once again be susceptible to corruption. This tree, it would eliminate the threat altogether.
I see. Can I ask one more thing?
Yes.
If this seed could protect the forest from all evil, why didn't you just plant it yourself? Way before I even came here. Wouldn't that have solved the problem in the first place?
Remember what I told you. You humankind have your unique powers. I have my own. The reason we seek each other out, gods, spirits, and mortals, is because we help one another. That is all I can say to you.
Oh, I think I understand. Sorry for asking.
No, I do appreciate your curiosity. Perhaps even your boldness. Now go, child. You know what you must do.
Okay. Wow, I got a sacred oak tree seed. This place, just look at it. Man, it's just like a whole other world up here. I understand why you would want to show me this, Kirnunos. Something about this place just really gives you a different perspective. Well, enough of that. I guess I should do what he asked. This is my final mission, I guess. From him. I don't know if the spirit will come back and maybe ask for another favor, but I can't believe I'm actually here. I guess I should climb down. I didn't bring any water with me, so... Man, is this really the end? Is he never gonna return? Or what makes this the final job? I guess I did everything he wanted me to do, so I guess there's no point in really questioning it. Sometimes there's no way to reason with beings I don't really even understand, honestly. He clearly has his own secrets. He didn't really want to be that specific with me, but I understand. Honestly, Kirnunos was right, though. I might not be as powerful as a spirit or a god or anything like that, but I mean, us humans, we still have something to give, something to offer. Sometimes we, you know, kind of screw things up, but at least we're being watched by the beings who know better. We do really help each other out, do we? It's not just that humans ask from deities and spirits. We also give things in return. I mean, for God's sake, I've been giving offerings like this entire time. Sometimes because I need something and sometimes just because I want to. Man, now that I really think about it, it totally makes sense what he means. It's almost like a symbiotic relationship, I guess. Well, I suppose I should plant this. I can probably do it now since it's raining at night. Where should I plant this? Okay, I don't know how big this tree is supposed to grow, but I'm going to assume it's gotta be pretty big, right? I mean, it's a special oak tree, so oak trees are usually pretty big. Maybe I can plant it somewhere over here on Ritual Hill. Yeah, that sounds fitting, right? Maybe here, where there is plenty of space. Wait, before I do that though, I've always wanted to take a good look at these. Look at these little skeletons. Siamese skeletons. They're so cute when they're not trying to kill me. Look at it. Aww. I don't know, is it just me? They're kind of adorable, honestly. Anyway, alright, let's plant this thing. I'm gonna plant it right here. Right under the moon. I guess the moon is here to watch. There. Planted. Right under the moon. It's a beautiful night. A peaceful one. Alright, I don't know how long that thing is gonna take to grow, but I guess I should just go to bed. It'll probably show up, maybe, I don't know, in a few years. But I'll water it, I'll check up on it and make sure that nothing is, you know, getting in the way of its growth. If it's an important seed, I better be careful and, you know, make sure it's safe. So, but I am exhausted. That was so much climbing. I was honestly terrified the entire time, but somehow I made it alive. Oh, what the heck? What are you doing in there? Is that a moth? Oh my gosh. Whoa. Hey. I don't know if I can... little moth, are you stuck? What's going on with this thing? It got stuck in the mushroom. Hey. Aw, I don't know what to do with it. I guess it's just hanging out with my cats. Alright, well, anyways, I guess I'll put the mushroom somewhere else. Maybe here. Kitties, have a good night. Mwah. Mwah. Don't eat the moth, okay? Good night. Good morning. Do you hear that? What is that noise? Kitties? The moth is gone. I hear something. I'm kind of scared. It stopped. That was weird. Okay, I guess I should, let me go water the tree. Let's see. Animals are okay. I guess I could feed them too. I can also take care of my sugarcane. I woke up kind of worried today. I don't really know why, because I know that the forest is safe now, but I guess I'm just so used to dealing with monsters all the time and having to fend for myself here. But it's nice to, you know, finally have some peace. Some actual peace. Hopefully I can make some more bookshelves today because I would really like to get some more spells made. But before any of that, let's just check up on the tree. What the hell? Oh my god! No way. No freaking way. It grew. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should have known that Kinunos would give me some sort of magical tree. What is this? Oh my gosh. I've never seen such a tree this big before. Well, so much for watering it. And look at this. It's surrounded by flowers. It's like a little fairy ring. Well, without the mushrooms, of course, but wow. So this is the sacred oak tree. It's beautiful. I wish I could climb it. It's shading this entire place. It looks so different now. Even the cross is under shadow. It's so beautiful. Look, the clouds are literally piercing through its leaves. It's spectacular. You're gonna keep us safe, aren't you? I've always wanted to build this specific thing, and honestly, the only thing stopping me is I never really knew where to build it, but I think I know where I want to build it now. Right under this tree. Because this build will be very, very important, and it must be protected at all costs. So, if this tree is really gonna keep us safe, I know exactly where I want to build it. I think right here, in this shady little place, the tree is completely covering this area, and I like how the hill here is kind of like a little shield. And it's right across from the ruin where I found Idris's book. It's gonna be pretty fitting. Kind of perfect, honestly. I think this is where I'll build it. So, what am I building exactly? Well, it's something that I've been wanting to make ever since I actually began learning about the Celts. I wanted to make a sanctuary to preserve my time. Unfortunately, I can't go back into the past to see all the intricacies of Celtic life, but I can make an effort to show the future generations how I lived, how Greenswood lived. I knew that now within our safe forest, it's finally time to build a sanctuary. I wanted it to be a safe place for our artifacts to rest. I actually went over to Greenswood to ask everyone for an item they would want to show the generations of the far future, with very little context. Some of the villagers were a bit confused, but everyone was intrigued enough to contribute to the collection. I'll be revealing the little surprise a few nights from now. I actually have something very exciting planned. But anyway, it was really nice of everyone to give up some of their belongings. I displayed every piece carefully. I got pottery and pans, cookingware, mead, tea, candles, and more. I made a small pond in the center as a place to give offerings, just like the Celts did, right in the water. I went over to my house to unmount my self-portrait. It'll be rehomed in the sanctuary. I knew I'd eventually find a place to preserve it. Not only that, but I decided to offer all of my artworks that I made here in the forest to the sanctuary. I ripped the pages out of my sketchbook and framed them all on the wall, along with some of my art supplies. I made a special small altar for my self-portrait. This will actually be my final journal entry because I'm giving it to the sanctuary too. This is the most important part. The words, the language, the real written history of my time. I hope that all I wrote is enough to give you an idea of how we lived. I documented as much as I could. I'll be adding more to the sanctuary as time goes on. You will find fragments of our lives all over this forest. So search, look, and wonder. Always be observing. Feel connected to the souls that once lived here. We are closer than you think. And of course, I had to give Idris's book a place to rest too. Here, where it will finally be safe. Well, whoever is reading this, however far into the future, please protect these items. They hold my village's history. And protect Idris's book. It encapsulates a fascinating civilization now past. Most importantly, protect this forest. It is our home. So, here's my surprise. I wanted to host a festival, and I think I found the perfect location. This view here is breathtaking. We shall celebrate the new era of the forest. But first, I'll have to get everything ready for the big celebration. This might sound a little crazy, but I decided to build a bridge across the cliffside. I thought it would make a really awesome location for the festival. The best part is, you get a perfect view of the lake, forest, and mountains from here. Anyway, before I planned my party, I did some research about traditional Celtic festivals. Luckily, it seems Idris had quite a lot to say about the seasonal celebrations of his time, since they were all super important, not only culturally, but spiritually. Celtic festivals represent the changing of seasons. These events follow the moon rather than the sun, similarly to other ancient cultures. This meant that each year, these festivals would fall on different days, but always represented significant changes in the seasons. Idris wrote of 4 major festivals and 4 minor ones: Yule, Imbolc, Ostara, Bealtaine, Litha, Lunasa, Mabon, and Samhain. They were all important as they marked what was happening in the natural world around the Celts. They were also used as ways to honor their gods and seasons. Yule occurs in late December, at the arrival of the winter solstice. This time used to represent the rebirth of the sun, new growth, and the coming of spring. It was a time of hope and new beginnings, a time for the sun to rest, leaving the Celts in cold and darkness, but then to return in its full power in the upcoming spring. Unfortunately though, in later generations, Yule began to emerge with more somber associations: the cold, bleak winters, and even death. But the Celts still made efforts to celebrate. They ate feasts at their home with their families, gave offerings, gifts, and honored Cailleach, the winter goddess. After the moody Yule comes Imbolc, celebrated in February to honor the arrival of spring and the goddess Brigid. Although the weather was still winter-like during Imbolc, it was seen as an optimistic time of hope and new beginnings for the coming of warmer weather. Brigid is the perfect patroness of spring. She is associated with wealth, prosperity, domesticated animals, and fertility. Next comes Ostara in March, to celebrate the actual arrival of spring, warmer, longer, and brighter days. During this time, the nature would be blooming and beautifully green. The name Ostara is actually a warped spelling of Istre, a Germanic goddess that represents spring, rabbits, and eggs. This is where the holiday Easter has its origins. Now comes Bealtaine in May, a celebration of fertility. This holiday comes from Roman influence, but carried over to the Celts in their own unique way of celebrating. Fertility was a key role in many ancient cultures, and was definitely a reason to celebrate. During this time, the Celts lit bonfires, danced, and played music. Next is Litha, which occurs in June during the summer solstice. This festival celebrates the longest day of the year and the sun shining in all its glory. During this time, the Celts lit bonfires on top of hills so that they were visible from miles away. Now that the summer is nearing its end, Lunasa is celebrated in August. This festival marks the beginning of the harvest season. It was named after the goddess Lu, the master of all skills. The Celts use this festival to host games and competitions with different villages and communities. These games were played for ritualistic and spiritual purposes more so than for sport. Then comes the holiday Mabon in September, a celebration of the autumn equinox. This is another harvest festival, although a more minor one, and it was most likely celebrated with just a bit of light feasting. Lastly, Samhain emerges in November. Actually, this holiday begins in the evening of October 31st, and is celebrated all throughout the 1st of November. This was arguably one of the most important Celtic festivals. Interestingly, the Celts believed that the veil between the physical world and the spirit world was the thinnest on the evening of Samhain. Sounds familiar? Yeah, this festival is where Halloween's history emerges. The Celts believed that their ancestors could visit them on Samhain, but also troubling ghosts and spirits. This belief is where the idea of wearing costumes on Halloween comes from, because the Celts did the same, so evil spirits couldn't recognize them. They also built giant bonfires on top of burial mounds to welcome the spirits of the dead, and to honor the finality of the light before winter comes. Now, those are just a small introduction to 8 unique Celtic festivals. The one I'll be hosting today doesn't necessarily align with any of them, since we won't be celebrating a seasonal change. More so, it'll be a celebration of the spirits, the deities, and the natural world. Well, it seems that all the decorations are put up and the bonfire is lit. Let's get this festival started. Nightmare? You and I, we've got a little party to attend. Now we should have a pretty clear path to the location of the festival, so hopefully everyone's able to follow along and safely. Oh, Gareth is right there. Hopefully everyone got my invites. Hey Gareth, are you excited? Alright, awesome. I'm gonna go gather everyone else. You just wait here and I'll take you guys with me.
Hey.
I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, come on, let's go. Alright guys, it's a bit of a walk, but trust me, it's gonna be worth it. Follow me. Doesn't it feel awesome being able to travel through the forest and not worry about monsters? Now, I don't know how many of you have been over here, but this is actually where I live. It's not that far away from the village, but, you know, still a bit of a walk. If you guys ever want to swing by my place, and if you need crops or animals or anything, I will gladly accommodate for you. Okay, we're almost there. Just in time, the sun is setting. This is gonna be awesome. I made a little torch path for us to follow. Alright, here we are. Welcome to the Greenswood Festival. And over here is a little extra. I made this bridge and it's an amazing view out to the lake. So we can sit here to have dinner, but first let's just celebrate a new peaceful era of Greenswood. Now, I don't know if all of you know this, but we did some improvements around here. I actually have something really cool to show you guys after the celebration's over, but basically, long story short, is that we took care of the monster problem altogether. So, you won't have to worry about traveling out late at night anymore. You can do that freely. There really isn't anything here to harm you except for the natural wildlife, of course. But the evil spirits are gone. So now all of us are able to explore without worrying about any of that. Thanks to the spirits and the deities that reside here, we are all safe. And that is why we're here today to celebrate, to thank the spirits and the deities, and to thank all of you for helping us restore Greenswood. I seriously couldn't have done it with all of you, so thank you. To celebrate, I made us all some apple cider. Let's drink to Greenswood and the restoration of the forest. Cheers, everyone! We drank and ate for hours. At midnight, we all gave offerings to the forest and thanked the spirits and deities. We watched the fire burn, keeping us warm, and just listened to the music in peace. Then we danced and ate and drank on the bridge, enjoying the view of the forest, watching the moon and the stars up above. Now, there is one more thing I wanted to show you guys. It's pretty special, so come on, follow me. I'll take you there. Be right back, Nightmare. This ruin over here is actually where I found Idris's book. It's kind of where I started my whole journey, communicating with the spirits and deities and every living part of this forest, so it's pretty special. But that's not exactly what I wanted to show you. Actually, what I wanted to show you is just up here. This is the sacred oak tree. Believe it or not, I planted this just yesterday. And it already grew into this massive tree. It's special. It's inscribed with a spell by the goddess Bridget, and she has given this tree the ability to protect us. This forest will be safe for as long as time exists. I'm glad we all gave offerings earlier, because truthfully, they really do deserve it. When I spoke to Kirinunos, he told me about how, as humans, we have a lot of power. Although it's a different type of power than what the deities and spirits have, he made a really good point. Just as different animals and plants connect to each other through symbiosis and help one another, we too help the spirits and the deities. All of us benefit each other in more ways than we know. So I think it's important we upkeep our relationship with them, because they live here in this forest just like we do. Just over there, I made a little sanctuary. It's where I put all of your belongings. It's there for the future generations to one day discover, so they can learn about our time. I encourage you all to visit there and make your own contributions, for the sake of the forest, and for the sake of keeping our legacy alive. To the generations who uncover this sanctuary, we, the people of Greenswood, offer you a glimpse into our world, a time long past, but forever remembered by the act of words and writing. This sanctuary preserves the history of our everyday lives, our beliefs, and our heritage. In our time, the lush forest gives us a place to call home, a place where the natural world and our community coexist in peace. Our village, Greenswood, is a small but strong community who share a deep bond with the land and each other. We live on ancient soil, even in our present time. The sacred land we call home once watched over some of the many Celtic tribes. Our people uncover the fragments of their time thanks to the wise words of Idris, a Celtic druid who defied the ways of his people and wrote down a glimpse of his history. Thanks to him, we have been able to connect to the past, and the Celtic spirit awoken. The whispers of the ancient Celtic deities and spirits whisper through the leaves, imprinted onto this forest like rings in a tree's bark, guiding us and watching over our home. With these limited words of the past, I was inspired to write about my people and our lives so that you have access to our perspective. The world always moves forward through the wind of time, but it is vital for us to preserve our past. This is how we grow and learn and discover new from the old. It carries on wisdom from elder generations. We must listen to the past like children listen to their parents. There is always something to learn. May this sanctuary teach you something. May these artifacts speak of our joys, our struggles, and our reverence for the sacred forest. We hope they illuminate a new path for you to uncover, reminding you of the beauty, the simplicity, and profound spiritual connection that defined our lives. Separated only by time, may we be forever bound together by the archives of history.